working with rings of activity, Hippodrome, iconic hippodromes, historic, ancient hippodromes were created, some of the earliest public spaces where men and women could go. The king and the peasant, that's first what attracted me. First, what attracted me really was the skeleton of the architectural thing itself, just the bare bones of a hippodrome, so gorgeous. Often working with a bowl of activity in our other public works. This is a public work as well. As you can see, Goodson Yard has been invaded by people and animals all day today. So these rings that start there and continue down, and you asked about the sacred space, and it is the last ring of activity, and it's also the deepest ring of activity. Back to historic hippodromes, they all had sacred spaces in them, and so Kian and I felt very strongly that we needed to have a sacred space.
We call it Belly, a sacred place, that pole that we have created. I know that people are going to remember that place. My work really came from memories, and the reason that I've been working with flowers really comes from a very personal sort of place in my own sort of being. And Lori's talking about the same thing, and so is Rebecca, and so are everybody who's been involved with the project. So therefore it's a lot more communal. So I do not see the landscape that I'm creating as like a personal possession of something that I created. It's something that I just feel as though I don't feel so possessive about it, and I'm just responding and I'm creating, and my work has kind of surrendered with this project. So that's been really amazing, and I think that's a similar sort of experience I think Lori and Rebecca are experiencing too.
Different choreographers have different approaches to their work. So as a lighting designer, I work across a broad range of fields. Lori is really grounded in a physiological, in crafting a physiological experience. So it's about how our body on all levels is responding to the work in ways that we are not processing. It goes to some pretty fantastical places visually. It's really about engaging all of your senses, and we're trying to dig into what this idea of Hippodrome is, trying to dig into this idea of the urban church, of crafting a sacred space.
There's a sense of activating the human in this work that I'm always invested in, but I think we might have found it differently with this one. And Kian's sense of skin, and Rebecca's sense of light as a philosophy, and Darren Carr and the chef's sense of the nose and the tongue, and Tian's sense of color and contour, and the musician's sense of how the strings sound in a 120-year-old space, and the sense of the gong out of nowhere, sort of fracturing the space in the middle of the work. It's a big deal. And then the opera singers bringing in that ultra-traditional thing that has such a intriguing presence here in 2013. So all those things together offers the public and us as artists a level of investigation that's unique. And All I know is that people are going to come and investigate.